Hey people of YouTube, it's me Amanda. So I'm making the second video since I promised anyone who saw my video yesterday that I would make a second one because I missed a couple videos. And today I was going to do a certain topic, but I kind of changed my mind last minute because I just got back in my house from seeing The Great Gatsby with my mom, and it was fucking amazing. And beforehand I had listened to some of the soundtrack because I obsessively love the XX. Like, at first I heard that Lana Del Rey was on it, and I flipped out because I love Lana Del Rey, like, a lot. I love her music, her style, and everything. Then I found out Florence and the Machine was on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, who else is going to be on this album? I can't even right now. I figured out the XX was on it. I lost my shit. I lost my fucking shit because I absolutely love the XX. It's actually one of my favorite bands for like the past year, and I'm obsessive over their first and second album. I even have their first album kind of as a birthday present. My dad got me is their first album on vinyl because I love vinyl, and yeah. Again, so I guess going along with that kind of whole thing, I guess it's like when you watch movies or whatever, do you ever listen like intensely to like the music, like the soundtrack basically? Have you ever listened to like a movie and you've heard a bunch of songs, you're like, oh my gosh, I dig this movie, but mostly because I dig the soundtrack, because it totally goes and it blends in. And I will say, like, since I did just see Gatsby, the playlist, the music of the soundtrack goes perfectly with the movie, in my opinion. I mean, like, anyone who else has seen it probably has a different opinion, but I've also read the book, and I've now seen the movie, and I've heard the soundtrack. I just think it was fucking flawless. Jay-Z, thank you. Also going along with that, like, I've seen bunches of movies, and sometimes the movies that I like the most, I kind of like their soundtrack a lot. Like, one is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I don't know if anyone's seen that. It's one of my favorites. I've read the graphic novel too, and I have the soundtrack. I think Romeo and Juliet, which also has Leo DiCaprio in it. Juno. There's so many. Also, the Twilight ones actually have really good soundtracks. A lot of people are just like, ew, I don't like Twilight, it's overplayed. Until people are like, oh my god, I love Twilight. If you ever listened to the whole soundtrack, it's actually really good. I have the first one, the second, and the third. I've yet to gotten the fourth one for both part 1 and part 2 Breaking Dawn, but hopefully I will. I'm sorry, I keep itching my nose. It's so itchy. Allergies. But yeah, I've listened to that also, and it's really amazingly good with a lot of the lyrics. It's very, with me personally, I like a lot of alternative rock or indie rock, kind of, just very nice sounding songs with lyrics, guitars. That's kind of my thing. But I like the occasional hip hop because I'm a dancer, so kind of like that too for parties and stuff like that. So anyway, the soundtrack, sometimes I guess when you hear a soundtrack and you hear like a certain song, it just fits into the whole thing, and you get like a sort of vibe from the song, and then hearing it and then seeing it with a movie or whatever, you get a certain vibe, and that's usually what I get. I don't know if any of you guys watching get that same kind of feeling almost, but that while watching this movie, I kind of thought about that a lot. I'm like, I'm probably liking this movie a lot because I already knew the soundtrack, and so we were like, oh, I don't like listening to the soundtrack before the movie because then I already know what song's gonna come on and da-da-da. But like, as I was watching it, I kept nudging my mom because they kept playing Lana Del Rey's song, Young and Beautiful, all over again, and then they played a bits of XX song together, and Jay-Z's song here and there with Beyonce. I was just like, I was freaking losing in the theater. I kept nudging her. I kept fangirling over the music at sometimes more than Leo. But I love Leo just as much, and he did freaking amazing. If he doesn't get an Oscar for that, I'm gonna be really pissed. A really pissed fangirl. Yeah. But yeah, soundtrack's pretty good. Hopefully I get it on iTunes or whatever soon if I have money. And yeah, soundtrack stuff and movies. I guess that's kind of what this whole video is kind of be talking about. So if you guys have like any movies that you really like, tell me. I'll check them out. My boyfriend is actually really big into movies. He loves watching movies constantly. And, you know, he's actually pretty good with music. He loves music just like I do. We're kind of the same, almost like that. And so if you have any suggestions, put it in the comment section below and let me know about any really good movies that you think have like a really good sounding soundtrack or something I may like, and maybe I'll check it out when I have free time. Probably, since once I wrap up this year, I'll be kind of free, I guess. I don't even know. But okay, I guess to cap off this or stop this video, Gatsby, freaking amazing soundtrack. Tell me any soundtracks you like or know in movies or whatever that have a pretty good soundtrack. I kind of obsesses when it comes to movies. If I really like a movie, I will most likely like the soundtrack. That's just kind of me. And if I like the music, I will like the movie. It kind of goes hand in hand sometimes. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but that's just me personally how I feel about it. So, yeah. Today was a pretty productive day for me, I guess. Yeah, lots going on. Got to see Gatsby. I was actually going to see it next week. But last minute, I'm like, "Ma, screw it. Let's go see it while we have the chance." And it was so good that I actually feel like going next week to see it again. And maybe I'll take my boyfriend along with me, because he actually wants to see it. So I don't know if he did or not. And then we can discuss about it, and that'd be flipping awesome. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to wrap up this video right about now. And this was your second video 2 days in a row. And I'll come back next week with another video about something else. But again, leave me stuff in the comment section below and subscribe. Have a great weekend, whatever. Bye.